Hey everyone, back again with another Taco guide, this time covering Amduscia, which in my opinion is the worst time attack in the entire game. Worse than Lilipa, in fact. Now, before I get started, general rule of thumb when dealing with Amduscia is don't kill Dragonkin. Because if you kill Dragonkin, you'll make your end segment much longer than it needs to be. So be cautious when you're using your AoE. And that even applies to Hero. It doesn't matter to the fact that Hero can just raffle stomp everything with like TMG or swords, but Hero has actually a very useful tool for just dealing with single targets, and that's literally the Talis. The Talis is really good at single target, and Vapor Bullet is a really nice single target PA. So if you see Dragonkin Hero, use your Talis. It's a lot less of a headache. So with that said, let's get started. So first off, we'll start off with some Darkers. Feel free to go ham right here. There's no need to like hold back or anything. Now, I'm fairly certain in my old taco guide I stated to go here, take a catapult and hit a switch there. That's pointless actually. With the general path that you typically go through, you'd never actually go through the pathway that switch actually does activate, which is to just open up a couple cannons in a pathway later on, which if you follow this guide you'll end up just skipping over anyway, so there's no need to go through F4 and just get that switch. So instead, I'm just gonna go left. So here, there's a little like cannon here, you can take it out if you don't want it to bother you too much. Just kill some Darkers here. Alright. Next up here in this open area is where the first instance of Dragon can appear. So heroes, switch to your Talis. Everyone else, use your single target PAs. And you want to like make sure you target the Darker specifically, and you don't want to hit the Dragonkin. Try your best not to touch the Dragonkin, because if you do, they will start jumping all over you and make you kind of regret stuff. And once you kill all the Darkers, the Dragonkin will start to run away. One thing to note here is that if you're a little greedy for some extra EXP and you actually see the icons for the Dragonkins flashing in the minimap, you're actually free to kill them. And I'll showcase that later on. So here, just kill the Darkers here. Now that the Darkers are down, you'll have to platform your way to those two switches over here. And this is probably the only time attack that has some platforming aside from Tokyo. I'm bad at platforming, but if you're Hero or you're a bouncer with jet boots, you can cheese through it by just double jumping from here and double jumping here. Next, what you want to do is hit this switch. If you're in a party, you can have someone else go through this switch as well, but make sure that switch is hit. And then take this catapult to fly over this wall and just take down these Darkers right here. That'll open up this catapult over here, which will take you all the way back to the same area the switch is at. Hit this switch. This is the only important switch in this area. And after that, you can just go back through. Interesting thing to note is that if you're in a party and let's say you're bouncer or your Hero, from here you can use jet boots or Hero Talis to just kind of like jump over this wall through that gap and just go around without having to take the catapult. So now that you hit that switch over behind that barrier, these both catapults to allow you to skip the E-trials will spawn. So just take them to go through. And now the next thing I'm going to show is something called stall tactics. You can do this with almost with various other methods, but I'm going to show how to do it with a Gunslash, which every class has access to, and it has its ways. It doesn't take too long to set up. All you need is just basically the Gunslash and its weapon action. You can have Serpent Air just for some like extra like breathing room, which I like to have Serpent Air just for that as well. So what you want to do, you want to build up your max running speed like right here, and jump, do like a couple Serpent Airs, 3 or 4, and then just start spamming the weapon action. And you want to keep on spamming the weapon action until this timer here is 4:45, and then from then on you can start kind of like inching your way over to like the edge and back here, and you've now skipped this area, and that will come to play later. So now go through here, start killing the enemies. The sentries can inflict poison on you, which can be a nuisance, but if you have access to techniques, you can just use anti to just like free yourself from that. So over here, kill the enemies. And that's it. Take this catapult, and this catapult will bring you to the second Dragonkin area. And these Dragonkin areas all account for something towards the end, in which, in the end, there are 5 gates, which corresponds to the Dragonkin areas. This is the second Dragonkin area, so if you kill the Dragonkin right here, which I will do as like demonstration, you'll close one of the gates. And you'll have to kill and that is the Dragonkin fleas before actually like killing the Darkers. And now, because we use the stall tactics over here, and as an alternative you can do it over here, this E-trial prevents this platform from dropping down and forcing you to another E-trial. So you can just literally run through it. If you don't do stall tactics here or here, then you'll have to use some method to gain a lot of height and fly over this platform. As I mentioned before, I showed with Gunslash, just doing this over and over again. But other classes that can easily do stall tactics are Braver with either Kamikaze Arrow or Tsukimi Sazanka from Katana. Hero can do it with Sword and Talis. Bouncers can do this with Dual Blades and Jet Boots. And coincidentally enough, with Jet Boots, and you have Strike Gust Type 0, you can use that to continuously climb high enough to get over the invisible wall that spawns for this E-trial and actually get over and past it before the timer hits 4:45 left. Fighter can also stall with Twin Daggers, and Gunner can also stall as well. Every other class, to my knowledge, does not have any effective way to stall other than using a Gunslash, which is why I showed it. So now that we've gone through and around, switch to your Talis if you're a hero, or be prepared, because once you jump in to this catapult, you will go down to this next area, which is the third Dragonkin area. Now here, there are 4 paths you have to go. I like to start with going left, because the Dragonkin on the left is really squishy and like that. And unlike the one on the right, it can't heal itself. The Dragonkins north and south they're pretty tanky and they have shields which can help block stuff for them. But I definitely prioritize the one on the left because it's squishy and can't heal. And yes, the Dragonkin can get poisoned. That's probably the only thing you have to worry about, especially for the Dragonkins on the left and right, because they're really squishy enough as is, and getting poisoned is not helpful for them at all. Once you have that done, just continue going through. There you go. Make sure you hit all these switches because you need to hit those switches in order to progress on. So from here, each teleporter kind of takes you to like a different location depending on like which teleporter you go to. And what I found is that going north or east and taking the teleporters there, the next area you'll be on the upper path. Whereas if you take the teleporter in the south or the west, aka row 3, you'll be taken to the lower path. So I'm going to be taking this path over here, this upper path, and just straightforward, just run through and find every switch. In my opinion, the this upper path here is faster to do if you're solo, but I think the lower path is faster to do if you're in a party of at least 2 people. 2 people splitting it can do that one pretty quickly. And just make your way towards the center where the paths meet up and hit all these switches. Next up, you have the switch here. Just hit that enough to open it, and hit that switch to open the wall. You're free to destroy any of the sentry guns if you'd like, just so they can stop shooting at you. But otherwise, you can just save time and go through it. Now, once you go through this teleporter, you'll see a Catadran that's actually pretty underleveled fight against a Granada. You can't go to them yet, so you just take this next teleporter here, and you're in the 4th Dragonkin area. Do your best to like take out the Darkers without destroying the Dragonkin at all. Use your change target keys just so that you don't lock onto the Dragonkin. But defeat all the Darkers, gate opens, and now you can go to here and assist the Catadran in killing the Squanata. Targeting can be wonky. And now that Granada's dead, Catadran's gonna try to flee, but if you want some extra experience, you can just slap it like that because it's running away. It's like the icon is actually flashing on the minimap. And that's basically Amduscia, aside from the last area. Which now I will say, at this point, once Granada is dead, it is totally okay to kill Dragonkin now. So, heroes, you can switch back to your TMGs and your swords and just go ham. So to note here, there are 5 gates. Gate 1 over at A7, Gate 2, Gate 3, Gate 4, and Gate 5. These all correspond to the 5 Dragonkin areas. First Dragonkin area, if you kill a Dragonkin, any of the Dragonkins in the first Dragonkin area in the Skyscape, then this gate will be closed. If you killed any Dragonkin in the second Dragonkin area in Skyscape, this will be closed. If you kill any Dragonkin in the third Dragonkin area, which is the first place in Volcanic Caves, gate at 8-5 will be closed. Fourth Dragonkin area, and if you kill Catadram before Granada, then this gate will be closed. So, because I killed the Dragonkin in the second Dragonkin area and the third Dragonkin area, the gates at A6 and A5 will both be closed, and I would have to go through an E-trial just to open them up. But everything else should be clear, even though I killed Catadram, but it was after Granada was dead and it was fleeing. This gate at A3 will still be open. And to show that, I will go through and just spawn those E-trials. So here's the first gate. You can tell by those pillars it is open. And you can see that second gate, it is closed right here. And the second gate is guarded by Soldilnians, so you just have to kill those. The first Dragonkin, the first gate would be Dilnians. This third gate here will be Sildinians, which are the ones with the shields. That can be a little bit annoying to deal with the shields. This fourth gate right here will spawn Nodorants if it's closed. One is honestly the only gate which isn't too bad to have closed, because unlike the previous three, this one would only spawn a max of 3 Nodorans, which is actually pretty nice. And here's the fifth one, where if it's closed, you'll have to fight 2 Photorons, which will kind of like spawn right here. If your party is 3 or more, you may have to fight, or is 4, you might have to fight 3. But Photorons are kind of tanky, so it's not that fun to deal with. So now just go to this big area and just focus everything on Voldragon. Once Voldragon is dead, this time attack is finished, and you're done. And that's pretty much it for Amduscia. The management of the Dragonkins are pretty tedious to like kind of keep alive. It's much faster to like actually not have to like deal with those E-trials and such. So do be careful and when you use your AoEs, and heroes, I cannot stress enough, use your Talis when you see the Dragonkins. You'll make less people mad at you for actually killing Dragonkins. And with that, that's all that's pretty much needs to be covered with Amduscia, I believe. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helped you.